How's it going today, guys? It's Jake Reid coming at you guys with a short but very, very useful tutorial video here on Madden 19 for you guys. I was recently watching a couple YouTube videos just describing some of the issues with connected franchise mode on Madden 19. And excuse me in the background here, I'm going to go ahead and turn the music volume down because it's a little too loud for me. But a lot of people discussing what they believe the issues are for them on Madden 19. And one thing that I kept seeing pop up over and over and over again that is actually a fixable issue here in Madden 19, something that you yourself, right there, sitting there watching this video, or laying in your bed, whatever you're doing, sitting on the toilet, whatever, you can fix this issue yourself. It is not up to EA necessarily. I would expect EA to do this correctly, but they don't. You can, however, fix the CPU free agency bidding in Madden 19, and I'm going to show you how. So what I'm talking about, for those of you that may not know, or may not be aware, or maybe are a little bit confused on what I'm talking about, if you come here into free agency, I have two test franchises set up. Here, there's one and there's two. This is the one where I have not done anything. First things first, I want to scroll through here and show you guys the top free agents. Now, I haven't edited the roster or anything, so players like Josh Gordon are out here and whatnot, and whatever. But what I want to show you is that there's a couple teams that always place the highest bid on all of these free agents, and they tend to be teams that are already good. Now, as we all know, that's not really how the NFL works in general. And occasionally there will be a really good team that's young that has the cap space to sign free agents, but that's not necessarily the case, and it shouldn't be the case. And as you can see, what's going on here in this one, you have the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Rams, and the Seahawks dominating all of the free agents. Now there's teams like the Cardinals that should be able to put in high bids. The Seahawks could put in high bids because their salary cap is alright. And then there's teams like the Jets and the Dolphins. But as you can see, again, the Chiefs are in the running for these big players. As you see, as we'll go down, the Rams are in the running, the Bears, the top end teams that not necessarily should be the ones that are bidding huge on all these free agents. The Bears, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Chiefs, they're signing everybody. Again, the Eagles, and you get down here and the Texans have finally made a bid on somebody. The Steelers have finally made a bid on somebody. Redskins, we finally see their name. So whatever it may be, you guys are going to have different issues with your different leagues. Sometimes I've heard people say that it's the Redskins that are always bidding on teams or on players. It's always the Rams, it's always the Cowboys, or it's always the Chiefs or the Seahawks, or whatever team it may be. You can fix it. And I'm going to show you what the issue is right now. We hop out of the menu here, and this actually will solve two issues. Number one, it's going to solve the same teams bidding on all the top-end free agents and offering them ridiculous amounts of money. And number two, it's going to fix your free agent class because there will be more free agents available, because what we're going to do is we're going to fix the salary on all of these teams. Now, here's what I'm talking about. All of the salary caps in the game are broken because the quarterback salaries, or I guess I should say all the player salaries, not just the quarterback salaries, but mainly the quarterback salaries, are broken in the game. Just for starters, just looking at this, Tom Brady's under contract for $17.8 million according to Madden in 2019. I know off the top of my head that he's making over $20 million against the cap in the real NFL next year. Now, if we scroll through all these teams, I want you to look up at the top there. It says Rob Gronkowski. Move over 2 columns to where it says 2018 cap penalty. Then jump down to where it says cap space, $66 million. That might be closer to accurate because this is the Patriots, but here's what I want you guys to see. There are teams out here that should have nowhere near the amount of cap space that it is providing them on the game. First of all, the Rams do not have anywhere near $56 million in cap space, and I'm going to tell you why. If you go and sort by their highest contracts on the team, Aaron Donald, according to Madden, is only making $13 million per year, which we know is incorrect. In 2019, he counts as almost $18 million against the salary cap. Then it jumps up to like $27 million in 2020. Unfortunately, we can't fix the contract year by year. Now, you can go in and edit the contract every year if you have the time and you feel like you want to do that each year you progress in Madden. What I do is I go on SpotTrack, spottrack.com, and look up the salary table for each team, and it tells you what they're going to count against the salary cap, and you can sort by year, and you can sort by averages. Now, what I do is I go by average. I say, okay, what does Aaron Donald make on average per year? Aaron Donald on average per year does not make $13 million under his new contract. He makes $22 million under his new contract. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to press L1 once to skip all the way to the end of contract. That's the fastest way to do it. And then I'm just going to jump up both the signing bonus. Now, you can be accurate with this if you want, if you have the time. Whenever I'm doing a league, I do it accurately. I go in and check what the guy's actual contract is. I make the bonus and the salary the correct amounts. But the fastest, quickest way to do it is to press the right arrow and hold the left stick over at the same time, and it will quickly boost up that number until the cap salary number at the bottom is where you want it to be. $22 million for Aaron Donald. Now, here's what I want to show you. Before I go in and do this, their cap space is at $56.4 million. Let me go and do it real quick one more time for you. I go in, and I raise this up to $22 million per year. Remember, 56.4 was their salary cap space before this. We're raising his salary by at least $7 million per year. And it takes it down to 47.4. So it takes off that $7 million that we added to his contract that is rightfully owed to him, that the game doesn't take account of. Now, and it takes their cap space way down. And I'll show you in the second test franchise, I have edited the Rams and the Chiefs, who are huge free agent spenders in every league we do. But I want to show you guys, if you just take the time to scroll through here, the Rams, why do they have $50 million in cap space? That's not realistic. The Ravens, $54 million. The Redskins, $66 million. The Saints, $66 million. The Seahawks, $61 million. The Steelers, $37 million. Texans, $42 million. 52, 16. That's the only low number we've seen so far. 44 million, 55 million, 112 million. I can tell you right now the Bills don't have 112 million in cap space. The Broncos, 62 million. Every team in the game has like over $40 million in cap space. Some of them have near $100 million in cap space, which is nowhere near the real numbers for the salary caps. And you can go ahead and look this number up yourself. That's what I do whenever I do the leagues. I just go on Spot Track, I check it out, what's every team's cap space, and I try and get the numbers roughly to where they'll be. And what that does is it prevents teams from making excessive bids in free agency because they don't have the money to. And in addition to that, it makes them have to make decisions on what players that contracts are up that they can and can't re-sign. So a lot of players that contracts are up, they won't be able to re-sign like in real life, and they'll hit free agency like real expected players are to hit free agency. So I'm going to take you out of this franchise. I'm going to go to test franchise 2. And I'm going to show you guys the difference. So keep in mind the Chiefs and the Rams were bidding on like all of those different free agents. So we're going to go ahead and load up the second test franchise. And I'm going to go to the re-sign phase here. And I'm going to look and I'm going to see, okay, do we see the Rams or Chiefs anywhere? Rams, Chiefs, no. But what we do see is we see a lot of the teams that should be making bids on players in the running. Now we got the Bills, the Broncos, the Jets, the Broncos, the Saints, the Colts, the Seahawks, the Falcons, Cardinals, Packers, Dolphins, Steelers, Lions, Titans, Buccaneers, Colts again, Bills again. We have Cowboys. We have like... So this is just editing 2 teams. We now have bids from more than half of the NFL. We have competitive bids on almost every free agent. Because before it was one person dominating the free agent bid. Now it's 2 or 3 on every single one, and none of them are offering an excessive bid. The Dolphins are offering a 122 bid on Verrett. Okay, they really want him, but most of these are around 90. These are beatable for you if you're going out and trying to target these players. You just offer them a slightly higher bid, which will be a realistic contract for most of these players, and you'll be all right. Have we seen any Chiefs or Rams anywhere? We have not. There's the Rams bidding second. Their highest overall player they're bidding on is an 83. Let's see if we can find the Chiefs. I have not found the Chiefs yet. Nowhere to be found. And those are the two teams that we fixed. And now let me go show you. I'm going to show you why. And it's the same thing. We're going to go to the salaries tab here, and we're just going to sort it by those teams. So we're going to go to the Rams, and all I had to do for them was I fixed like the top 5 guys' contracts, and it automatically fixed their space. They're down to $44 million in cap space, but we fixed it. So the average out on the salary for Aaron Donald ended up being 24. Now they ended up only having, like, I don't know, I want to say it was 10 million, 15 million in cap space before we actually hit the re-sign phase, and they must have cut players or let players go. And so, yeah, I can see some of their players that we had to edit the contracts on left, like Andrew Whitworth. Andrew Whitworth is making $15 million, and he must have retired. So that, that takes their cap space down to $30 million. But I will show you guys the fact that there's so many misrepresentations on the contracts. We'll go over here to the Chiefs. They're down to $17.4 million in cap space, and that is even higher than what they were at, because this wasn't counting in the contracts that this team already had in place. Like Sammy Watkins, for example, before I edited his contract, was making $9 million, when in reality he counts $19 million against the Chiefs salary cap. So there are big issues with Madden and contracts, and you guys can fix this, and this will make your franchise experiences so much more enjoyable. Trust me. What you're going to do is you're going to see a lot more free agents, a lot more of a diverse free agent class, because real players are going to end up on the free agency market that are actually going to end up on the free agency market, and teams aren't going to be ridiculously bidding on free agents. It's not going to be the Chiefs or whatever team you hate that's making an offer on 10 different of the top 10 players, and they're bidding like 150-point offers on them, because you're going to fix the contracts, and they're not going to have the cap space to actually be able to do that. You're capable of doing this. I believe in all you guys. You guys are all capable of going in and taking the time to do this if you desire to actually fix it. Now, here's one that I find interesting. Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, according to Madden, this is my prime example. Matt Stafford, according to Madden, makes $18.6 million average against the cap. Now, if I go ahead and just do a quick Google search of Matt Stafford contract, which is all I look up whenever I'm doing this, I Google it, and it says average salary $27 million. This is how misrepresentative Madden is with these contracts. There's no way that the Lions have $82 million in cap space. I'm just going to give you guys one example here. I'm going to sort on Spot Track by the Detroit Lions. I'm going to hit update. And in 2019, their salary cap space is around $25 million. But Madden says that they have $82 million in cap space. That's where the issue stems from. Don't get me wrong, this is an EA issue. This is a developer issue. They should know how to input the contracts correctly, and they don't. They should be able to make it so that contracts can be backloaded or front-loaded, and I want this added to Madden in the future, just like the rest of you, but don't get hung up on this and think that you can't fix it. Once you're in a franchise, you can click on a player, any player that you want, hit edit player. If you're the commissioner, and head over to their contract, you can edit the length. You can make it 7 years long. You can make it 1 year long. Whatever you want it to be. You can edit the salary part, you can edit the bonus part. Now keep this in mind, if you're doing this for your own players, the bonus part is the part of the contract that is going to be a cap hit. It's the guaranteed money if you cut the player. So this is going to be your cap penalty. If I cut him, you're going to have a cap penalty of whatever the bonus is that's left on his contract divided by the amount of years. That's going to count against your cap for the next few years. So keep that in mind. But you guys are all capable of doing this. I just wanted to let you guys know, because I've been seeing a ton of complaints about the contracts and the free agency in Madden, but in our franchises, we don't have a whole lot of problem with that. And the reason is that I take the time before I start a franchise. I always go in, I edit the contracts for every single team. I get the top 5 or 6 players to where they need to be, and then I adjust from there to get their cap space to about where it should be. Most teams hover in about the $20 to $30 million in cap space range, and I can even go ahead in real quick and just see every team's cap space, NFL. and it's going to come up with a number from over the cap. And there are some teams that have a ton of money, but if I just go down the list, like the Eagles, who were bidding on a ton of these free agents, and I didn't even bother to fix yet. Let me go ahead and just show you guys what I'm talking about. If you go into signed free agents, I bet they're on the top player. The best player in free agency, the Eagles are putting a 93-point offer in, which means that they're offering this guy at least $10 million a year, which they don't have, because here's the Eagles salary cap. The Eagles have negative $15 million in salary cap. And then going up the list, the Jaguars, -1, Vikings, 6.8, Buccaneers 12, Bears 13, Dolphins 13, Saints 15, Falcons 18, Panthers 19. If I go all the way up to the top, the only teams that should have more than 50 million in cap space are teams that rightfully should only have more than 50 million in cap space, and these are the teams you should see bidding mainly on free agents. That would be the Packers, the Broncos, the Titans, the Cardinals, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, 49ers, Texans, Raiders, Bills, Browns, Jets, and Colts. These are teams that at some point in the recent history of the NFL, they have been bottom feeders. And so they have a lot of cap to spend. They have a lot of cap to allocate. Now, some of these teams obviously have made runs, like the Colts and the Texans and the Titans last year, the Cowboys this year, the Packers. These are teams that they should be spending on free agents because they now have the money to do so. You shouldn't see the same team bidding on 10 different players. A team like, I don't know, the Dolphins, for example, that you see here, the Dolphins give a lot of players, like they're giving Jason Verrett a 122-point offer. Here's the Dolphins cap space. $13 million is the Dolphins cap space. If they're giving him this contract, that's eating up half of their cap. So, okay, you give one guy a big contract, that's fine. But how many other guys are you bidding on giving a big contract to? The Dolphins, I know, are in multiple of these bids. There are teams like the Browns, the Raiders. Here's another one for the Dolphins, a 121-point offer. So I just wanted to inform you guys, and please spread this word around to other people, that you can fix the free agency and make the free agency in Madden 19 a much more enjoyable experience by just going through, taking a little bit of time, maybe even just having one of your friends do it if they're willing to do it. If you really want to have a realistic franchise, go through, edit the contracts, make sure that the salary cap numbers make some sense, make sure that the player contracts make some amount of sense compared to what Madden has it at, because Madden has every team with a ridiculous salary cap. So you guys can do it. Go in, fix the salary cap, fix the contracts. You guys, trust me, you're going to have a much more enjoyable experience. There's going to be great free agents out there for you and your friends to bid against each other on. You can do this in a solo franchise. You can do this in a connected franchise. You can do this however you would like. And it's really going to enhance your Madden 19 experience. This is something that, don't get me wrong, like I said a couple times already in the video, EA and the developers should have the correct contracts in the game, and they should have the correct salary caps, but they don't. And unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation, and we just have to work with what we have. And working with what we have, we are able to give ourselves a desirable free agency experience. We're able to fix some of these issues that I see a lot of people harping about and complaining about. So please, take the time, go put a couple minutes in, fix a lot of the players, give your friends admin powers, let them fix some of the players, and you'll get to a much better spot where you're going to have a much more enjoyable league. So I hope that this helped you guys out. I hope that this resolves a couple of your concerns with Madden. You know, it's not a perfect game, and by no means am I saying that they're in the right at all. I've been hard on Madden for a while, and EA for a while. I believe that they can do a lot better, and they should be putting a lot more content into this. But this is one thing that we at least have the power to change ourselves and have the power to fix and make this a much more enjoyable experience for ourselves. So go ahead and do it. If this video helped you guys out at all, if this video helped alleviate some of your stress with the free agency of the CPU in Madden 19, please, please, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for more content, more Madden content, any game you want to see. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys want to see. If there's anything else you need a tip or a trick on to help get around or work around, I have it all. I've been playing this game forever. I play this game daily. I play it in and out. I know everything about it. So please, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you need help with, or if you need help with, or let me know if this video helped you out. Please let me know down in the comment section. I love hearing your guys' comments. I love hearing that my video helped shape your Madden experience and help make it a little bit better in a game that struggles with giving people an immersive experience. Trust me, there are ways to make a realistic franchise on Madden 19, and one of my goals here soon is to come out with a Madden 19 franchise starter checklist. And what that's going to be, stay tuned for it, that's going to be my checklist of what I do before I ever even start playing a franchise, of the things that I go through to make sure that I have set up the franchise the way that it needs to be in order to make it a little bit realistic and make it a fun experience. So stay tuned for that. If that's something you'd like to see, as always, let me know down in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys in the next one. I really hope this video helped you out.